Oh, there's
Like
a
you can
chat.
chat with everyone in the studio.
I mean, there's someone in there. Oh, no.
Me. Hopefully. We're live. Good
Hello, we are
morning.
here. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee with the
Coffee with the
Coaches.
coaches. I'm
Thursday
Tiffany.
morning.
Yep.
And I'm Erin.
And we are your transformational coaches for the morning.
Hey. Oh my goodness.
So, lots of fun
What are
stuff.
we yeah. What are we talking about this week?
Well, this week,
Or this day?
this day, this day that can take you into the week is something to ponder. Um, so one thing, obviously, we're both in healthcare, and I'm sure Erin sees this all the time. Um, People that we see just have so much anxiety and fear and all these things that really um, affect the core of somebody, and depression. I mean, we even see schizophrenia, all that, and some of those really require, like, schizophrenia, bipolar, they do require medications. Other conditions do as well. So we want to talk about today about that there isn't any shame in being on medication. There isn't any shame in asking for help. Your mental health is the core of you, just like your spine is, right? If you injure your spine or your back, oh my gosh, everything throughout your day hurts, right? It hurts to sometimes it hurts to breathe, to get up, to move, to walk. Well, mental health is kind of sneaky because sometimes you don't know what you don't know until either you get sick physically or someone points it out to you that you didn't know. Like, what I'm getting at is, depression can creep in, and people don't realize it until they're in the middle of the bowels of depression where they can't get out of bed. You know what I mean? So at that point, it's time to get help. And maybe it's time to get help before that happens. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with talking to somebody. Aaron and I have proposed, several modalities over the last couple weeks, for nervous system reset, even to be aware where your body is, where your nervous system is. Those things are so important. Grounding, all those things. And medications and therapists and coaches. It's all out there.
Right.
And many times we think that if we ask for help, it means we're weak. And that's just too bad. I mean, that's just really a shame ever, whatever we grew up with, whatever that stigma is, it's okay to ask for help. Doesn't make you less
Yes.
than. Yeah.
There's a lot of stigma in even certain cultures that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, one, you're not allowed to feel your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have feelings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can't show them. It's a sign of weakness.
Mm-hmm.
And, and that's a very cultural thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a generation, I see it in my students that are kind of breaking that, they're breaking through that generational boundary, that's been placed on them. Because I think what I see what's happening is that there is a lot of mental health issues going on in life today. I mean, I think I just think it's harder. Life is harder than it ever was before. It's busy and there's a lot of pressure on people. Um, and I think that, hold on. Okay. And I think that we're moving into an era where it is becoming more acceptable, which is good. It's more acceptable to to say that you're feeling sad or lonely or depressed or anxious or whatever. And I think that is a really, really good thing because keeping it bottled up inside of you creates the the chronic anxiety
Mhm.
and the stress and the chronic all these fear and all these things that keep you in this bubble, like is stuck in this, where you are, and you can't move forward a lot of times. And we have been talking about a lot of different healing
Mhm.
modalities, and I think one of the more commonly practiced and accepted one, we talked about Reiki, we talked about sound baths, we talked about,
Mm.
all these things that we do, but mental health therapists and medication has been around for a really long time.
Mhm.
So have all these other things, right? But they're
Right.
more, we're talking about kind of, if you want to break it down, Eastern versus Western
Right.
medicine.
Yeah.
And I think together they combined, they can both be very powerful for someone who is encountering any type of mental illness. And I have a lot to say about this, so I hope
I
you're just
know.
going to tell me to stop
I'm
at
telling you,
some
man.
point.
All the stuff can be very complementary. All the stuff can
Yeah,
work very well together.
yeah.
Um,
I think I'm just gonna talk
yeah,
while you gather
get
yourself for
myself
a
together. So,
second.
what I think about and I feel the stigma goes back to, um, back in the day, it was so taboo. It was so taboo. And when I'm talking about back in the day, I'm talking about like when my mom was alive, like in her 30s and 40s. So that would have been in the gosh, maybe 70s, 60s, maybe.
Yeah,
And it was like, oh, she had a nervous breakdown. Well, then that means that person is just a wackadoodle crazy person, right? And it was like, I mean, you can even feel what that would be like. Oh, don't talk to her. Oh, she, whatever, she needs really bad help.
yeah.
And, sadly, I think we've all hit the wall at some point and we aren't wackadoodles.
One
And
million
it's
percent.
just, oh my God, it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating.
Yeah,
When you think about the big picture, life is too short to feel shitty.
yeah, yeah, it's true.
It really
It's
is
true.
to struggle through each day, to get a hold of your thoughts, to
Yeah,
calm yourself, to constantly be aware and constantly going down a spiral.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just disheartening.
yeah. And a lot of times, so what I say to my patients is, okay, so we have an example. If you broke your arm, would you hesitate to get it fixed? But even more important than that is if if you were, being seen because you had a heart attack, if you're having, heart disease, you're having a heart attack, if you were told you were diabetic, would you not take medication? There are some people who unfortunately do not
Right.
take medication for diabetes and heart problems, but in general, like
It catches
if
up.
you're
Yeah.
if your doctor said to you or your, PA said to you, man, you're diabetic and we need to get you started these medications to get your diabetes to prevent all these long-term complications, most people will not hesitate to take those medications, right?
Hmm.
And I always say your brain is an organ. It's a vital organ, just like your heart, just like your liver, just like your kidneys. If you had kidney disease, you're going to take medication, right? And you're going to do other things, like you're going to do when, other things, lifestyle modifications to help those things heal, in addition to taking medication. Your
Hmm.
brain is just as important as the rest of you, and maybe more important, right? Because it controls, like you said, our day-to-day lives. So a
Our
lot of
day-to-day
time
functioning and how we
functioning,
deal
yeah.
with that with our environment, how we deal with our thoughts. Hmm.
Yeah. So it's not I think it's sad that most of us hesitate to reach out for help when it's our mental or emotional health care that that needs something
Hmm.
because of a stigma or fear
Hmm.
or shame, you know?
Hmm.
And it's like,
Hmm.
you wouldn't do this if this was something else. So
Yeah. So we're not here
that's
to convince you that everybody needs to be on medication. No, that's not it at all. We just want to talk about the stigma in that, let's switch the conversation. Maybe asking for help is one of the strongest things you could ever do because you are concerned about what's life gonna look like moving forward. And again, what Erin is saying, I'm going to piggyback off that, the constant, the constant chronic stress, the constant chronic lack of sleep, whatever, we know those manifest into physical conditions that can be permanent, like fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis, some of these autoimmune diseases that are out there that they can't figure out even
Where
they
they
don't
came
even have
from.
the yeah, where they came from, and and even to treat isn't even that um
Yeah.
well researched, I guess is what the word
Right. Yeah.
medicated, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Right.
yeah.
So I think, let's go back to like what happened. Like, how many of us growing up, or, we learned to hide our struggles and our emotions
Mhm.
instead of
Mhm.
talking about them.
Mhm.
Right. And that's generational. That is a generational trauma that has, and cultural, like there, I can't tell you how many cultures that, where
Yeah.
that is, right? We know that.
Mhm.
And and it's seen as a weakness and all this stuff, but the chronic ramifications of stuffing your emotions down, of not feeling your feelings, of you cannot heal, and that creates the inflammation,
Mhm.
chronic high cortisol levels
Mhm.
in your
Mhm.
body that can lead to these chronic conditions. And not only that, sometimes, like for instance, you may be going through some shit in your life that it, like, is hard. Like, people have seasons in their life that are really hard, right? They're really sad. They've had loss, there's grief,
Mhm.
there's stress, there's
Mhm.
anxiety. And so sometimes you just need a little support, and
Mhm.
extra support. And sometimes that
Mhm.
is medicine in
Mhm.
addition to the therapy and, the other modalities that we have talked about on this podcast, that I think are helpful, are all complementary.
Mhm.
And so we just
And
want you to,
those
like, we
yeah,
wanted
go ahead.
everyone to just be okay with all that stuff.
I know. Because it's not about, if there's a chemical imbalance, if something's going on, you can't just be stronger. You can't just get over it.
Right.
You can't rationalize, well, other people have it worse, so I need to suck it up. It is what it is, and it's you. And
Yeah.
really, you know, um, we don't talk about family problems,
Right.
so we stuff it down. Um, just pray more.
Yeah.
Just think
Yeah.
positive. Everything will
Right.
be fine.
Right.
No.
Right. Not
How long have
always.
you been practicing that? How long have you been telling yourself that? And how do you feel today?
Right.
Let's just be real. And it's like, it's total freaking ego.
Yeah.
And that is sad because it's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I think is important to address is that there's more than one way to conquer this, to help this, to support.
Yeah.
And it's not a one size fits all. And that also goes back to, let me put on, to the medicine part of things, is that the same is true with all the medications that are out there. Yes, they do have their own side effects. Yes,
Hmm.
they, but they all work differently.
Hmm.
And you and I are not the same. So if I'm on a medication, it probably isn't going to be the same medication that you're on. Like
Hmm.
that it is. And so sometimes it is a trial and error, unfortunately, because it takes time to, you know be efficacious in your body and all that stuff.
Hmm.
So that could be a long, a couple of weeks before you're actually even feeling better. And if you're not, you have to change medications. But I
Hmm.
think the point is
It's
not
not
suffering.
immediate. Yeah.
No, no, it's not immediate. But
Yeah.
don't suffer anymore. Like,
Right.
it's okay to in full disclosure, like, I recently, it's like I feel like I was surrendering. Like, I went, to my doctor, and I was like, I'm raising my white flag. Like, have all these modalities. Like, how many modalities do we, that I practice, that we talk about in this show with you guys, that I do. But sometimes the things going on in my life, the anxiety got so bad that those modalities were not helping me, and I couldn't function. Like, it was really hard to get up and get through the day and do all the things without feeling like I was gonna explode, really. Like, lose it every 5 seconds.
And let me tell you, I would have never known that. I never saw that from her. And we're close. Like, we work together, we're together a lot. We chat each other,
So maybe that's another conversation. Some of us are really good at masking what's going on inside of us,
yes.
which also isn't good. But
But the point is
the
that
point
you knew,
the point
and then
is
there's menopause bullshit and hormones and all that
that's
stuff.
that's a
And
huge part of it. Yeah. So so the
totally.
so the whole point was that saying that, I don't feel that I'm any weaker because I had to go to my practitioner and say, I need help. I need
Something's, yeah.
extra support,
Hmm.
like I and
Something's off.
I
Yeah.
have all the tools, but I am not feeling good. I am not feeling
Hmm.
myself, and I don't think I can take this anymore.
Hmm.
And so I got on some medication, and now it's like, it like calms the fire down, right? So that you can now use the modalities when things do get a little crazy. It's like, okay, now I know what I can do, and I feel like it's helping me, and I don't feel so out of
Yeah.
control.
Well, and let's break this down. We've talked about this before. When we're in constant anxiety and fight and flight, what shuts off?
Right. The
The
frontal
prefrontal
cortex.
cortex. Yeah, the
Yeah.
prefrontal cortex. You
Right.
can't think clearly. You can't cope reasonably.
Ah!
What's going on? Bug?
I'm sorry. I think it was, oh, I don't know, it was buzzing. Okay.
Okay. Um, when that shuts off, we can't think, we can't
Right.
process, we can't make
Right.
logical decisions because there is no logic working.
Right.
And again, the cortisol levels go up and all the other hormones and all the other things that go with it. So, yeah, it's just that constant circle, the cycle. And then you can't sleep, or you fall asleep and you wake up at 3 a.m. and then you can't go back to sleep. And that's serotonin. Those are chemical things that are happening. And
Yeah.
that happens also after prolonged depression or anxiety, not managing it. It manifests into a chemical dysregulation
Right.
that
Yep.
I don't think well, I don't know. This is my personal me. At that point, I would need medication because Reiki, sound healing, I don't think is going to get the chemical stuff back in line for
Well,
myself.
right. Exactly. And that's, I
And
think, where
again,
I was at, right? It's a
yeah,
vicious cycle. Like, it's really a
yeah.
vicious cycle. You're feeling anxious, so you don't sleep, and you're not sleeping, so you get more anxious and you're more tired. And then you're really, yeah, your chemicals are so off that
Hmm.
you don't even know what what's going on. It's just
People
pure.
might ask you what's for dinner and you might freak out on them and throw the pan. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, and that was me. Like, there's other thing, there's people who get very, very depressed, where they can't even get out of bed in the morning, and they
Yes.
can't function on a day to day. And I think
Hmm.
ultimately, like you said it earlier, and I've said this to multitude of people, including patients, family, whatever, like, life is too short. This is where I get really emotional.
Hmm.
It's too short to not enjoy it, right? To be going through that, like, this crazy, like, frantic or sad or all these other emotions, where when you have there are additional things that could help you, right? There's additional tools, there's medication, there's therapy, there's so many things that in conjunction can make you feel better, can make
Hmm.
you enjoy life again,
Yeah.
and
So why is that bad? Why
right,
is why is that wrong to seek help because you're mentally not feeling good?
right,
You know? I mean, like
right.
you said, if I broke my arm, I'd be asking for some help. It's
Yeah.
just I get passionate and I get angry because it is stupid. It's just stupid.
It's hard to break people,
Yeah.
when I see them in clinic or whatever. it's usually they're at their worst, but still there's so many people that are still so resistant to,
Mm-hmm.
and,
Help.
and
Yeah.
all we can do is what we can do, right? So you and I are on here trying to spread word,
Yeah.
and we coach people, and we give you all these other modalities, and it's just, we're just trying to, create, if there's some sort of little bit of change or shift that happens in your mindset surrounding things like this, then
Mm-hmm.
that's all we can ask for, and
Yeah.
if you then go take what we're saying and then go and utilize these services and utilize, your medications and all those things that are out there, then that's great.
Yeah. I mean, even within therapy, there's modalities. There's EMDR, there's cognitive behavioral therapy. There's all those modalities to help with, triggers and traumas and just talking it out too. Well, we're coaches. That has its place too. And
Mhm.
we don't get into the psychosocial stuff. I mean, we do get into the psychosocial stuff. We don't get into the psychological things,
Right.
but they still do play a factor in who you are, the obstacles you are trying to overcome, why you're stuck, why you keep repeating the same patterns over and over, what thoughts are keep coming into your mind that keep manifesting that block those things.
Right.
That's all mental health too.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And I think, well, I think I alluded to this earlier, but I just want to say, like, sometimes that this is just a season in your life. It's not,
Exactly.
for
Not
some people, they have
forever.
right. Some
Yeah.
people do have chronic depression,
Yes.
chronic
Yes.
things.
Hmm.
Um, but did you just turn your
I
camera
didn't
off?
mean to.
Oh,
I touched
there you
something.
are.
There we go. Okay, good.
You're back.
Sorry. Whew.
Um, but
It's not a
sometimes
forever. Yeah.
it doesn't
Sometimes
have
it is,
to be
sometimes not.
forever. Yeah, it's just like a bridge. It could be
Mhm.
temporary. It may be part of your long-term care, but it may not. And it doesn't change who you are as a person. It doesn't change your identity. It doesn't define your strength.
Mhm.
Your
Yeah.
it's not giving up. It's not giving in. It's choosing you. We talk about, it's actually the most radical form of self-care. It's saying, I choose me, and I'm going to do what I can for me to be better in this world, right? To
Mhm.
feel
Mhm.
better.
Mhm. And it's
I
not
think that's
saying I give
important.
up. I give
No.
up. I'm throwing in the towel. Just drug me up. Uh, Thanks, Libby. That's not medication. It's just another tool. Hang on 1 second. I gotta open her door.
Yeah.
My door.
Okay. Yeah. So
Go.
these decisions are very personal, and if you choose medication, obviously you want to reach out to a healthcare medical
Professional.
professional,
Hmm.
and you want to be followed by them,
Yeah.
to see
It's
your
not one and done.
progression.
Hmm.
No, and again, like, I okay, sometimes medication, well, I shouldn't say sometimes. What medication provides, if you decide to go into, decide to take medication, antidepressants, whatever, it helps to, how do I say this, decrease um, the constant chatter in your head that's either, creating that anxiety or that depression, so that you can use those other modalities to help you get better, right? To help you identify. Sometimes when we're so in the middle of it, we're so in the middle of our depression or anxiety,
That's our
we don't
whole world.
that's our whole world. We don't even know where it's coming from. And
Hmm.
so medication helps you to start to feel better so that you can process the information, so that when you're
Hmm.
in therapy or you're doing a meditation
Hmm.
or a Reiki session, you actually can process what's going on and start to heal that. It's Some people view it as a band-aid. Okay. I understand that. But
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be a band-aid if you are also in conjunction seeking therapy. right? And getting
Exactly.
to the root cause of what is going on. And sometimes
Right.
it's those, what Tiffany said earlier, things that we were, brought up with, limiting beliefs, all those, things like that. And you can start to shift those, and you have the space to shift it when you have some support, some medication support, right? And that's how it is not forever, right? It's that
Right.
temporary bridge. Does
Yeah.
that make sense? Did I say?
No. I mean, well, let's just, I'm not going to switch the subject, but I'm going to think about the GLP-1s, weight loss medications. They calm the chatter about food. Why is that acceptable versus
Right.
it's the same? Think about it. It's really the same thing.
Yeah. To aid in weight loss at the same time, you're maybe trying
Building
to
habits.
habits. Yeah. Better
Yes, you're
habits.
building
Yeah.
habits to work with it. You're exercising. It's time to
Making
get
it.
that.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I'm
No,
sorry. I
no.
interrupted.
I mean, just like people, like you're not going to get a fucking trophy for struggling alone.
Right. Right. For
Those
sure.
days are gone. We don't need
Yeah.
that, you
Yeah.
know?
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. That's a great, because you're right. That is all over the place right now. Right.
Hmm.
And everyone is in, no shame. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, everyone is getting on these medications. Good. Because why?
Yes.
Obesity is a problem. Like, it leads to
Hmm.
another thing that leads to long-term health conditions.
Depression
Another,
too, all that
another thing
stuff.
could
Yeah.
lead to mental health conditions. Exactly.
Right.
And so you're right, it's a bridge. It calms the thought process down that's surrounding food,
Hmm.
and then in that time you can start figuring out the bottom. Why is it that I'm always struggling, like I'm always hungry, always thinking about food? Like, what
Yeah.
is it? And I'll tell you, a lot of it is because we grow up in a society that, there's starving children and wherever, and you
You
have
got
to
to
eat all
eat
the
it.
dinner on your plate, or
Exactly. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we overeat.
See, more shame.
Right, right.
Shame and guilt.
Right.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah. And we need to get rid of all that crap. We need to be done with it. Like, we need to
Yeah.
put ourselves first, right? Treat
With
ourselves with love and
compassion.
compassion. Yes.
Exactly. A friend
Yes.
of mine, we were texting yesterday and she's like, I'm so stupid. I'm like, would you call me stupid? Oh, no, I would never. I'm like, then don't talk to yourself like that. Like,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah.
stop. Let's be compassionate to ourselves.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know,
Yeah.
um, ask instead of assume. Listen,
Yeah.
listen to your body, listen to your friend, listen about seeking help.
Right. I think, like I said, it's the most radical form of self love is by saying, I need help. It is the most courageous thing that you can do, walking in and asking for medication or seeking out a therapist. It is, I get emotional about this too. Oh my God. It's not an easy thing. It's not an
No.
easy thing to do.
Hmm.
And if if you, I mean, I commend any of you who have gone out, it's being vulnerable, right? And putting yourself out there.
I like what
And
Carla
then,
said. Yeah. Being vulnerable has been life changing. And that's exactly what it is. Check the fucking ego at the door and
yeah.
seek help, whatever that is.
Yeah.
You wouldn't, again, we wouldn't think twice to ask for a coach to lose weight. Why is mental health different?
Right. Or
It's not okay to feel like shit.
yeah, or a coach at the gym, right?
Well, that's what I
To
meant. Yeah. Personal
oh,
trainer. Yeah,
personal trainer, yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Or, like, I mean, how many of you get massages? Like, just think about all the things that you do
Hmm.
for yourself, but you're still feeling like shit on a day-to-day basis, but all this stuff doesn't make you feel any better.
You can't read another effing book about depression and think that it's going to help you if you got chemical issues going on. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's okay, guys. Like it's okay.
Yeah. So I think it's really important to, all of this is really important, but I
Yeah.
think if we're talking about the root cause, like, I think it's really important for you guys to, um, like, journal, whatever, reflect. Where did your beliefs for mental health come? Where did those
Hmm.
come from? Like, when did that start? If you have oh, it's a weakness, it's a blah, blah, blah. What is the root of that? And start there, like, start to heal that, because we're telling you, it's wrong. If it's something against, against seeking help or whatever,
For yourself.
that
Yeah.
for your felt that depression is a weakness or whatever, you're completely wrong. And so figure out where that came from and reframe that.
Hmm.
We talk a lot about you have to start with awareness, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
What is that level of awareness, and how can you reframe that and move forward in a more positive way?
Yep. You don't have to carry everything by yourself.
No, no. And
And you,
right,
yeah.
what were
And you
you gonna
don't
say?
have, yeah, I was going to say, you don't have to earn the right to ask for help.
Yeah, yeah. And judgment and shame, what if your child, if your parent, if your best friend was struggling with anxiety or depression, would you judge them any different?
No.
Right? Would you judge them
Hmm.
for having that issue? Or would you support them and ask them to, and support them in seeking help? So if your answer is yes, of course, no, you wouldn't judge them differently. And yes, I would support them in seeking help, then you should do the same for yourself.
Exactly.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
not about struggling alone. There's no badge of honor to struggle alone. There's
Yeah.
so many resources out there. So many.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yep. And it's courageous, and
Hmm.
yeah, and it's just courageous. It's being brave and vulnerable, and that is okay, people.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
hard, but it is okay. I understand. But
Are you gonna
yeah,
die to ask for help? No, it's
no.
okay.
And as a healthcare practitioner in all the places that I worked, I promise you, there's probably nothing you could say to the majority of us that would surprise us. We have seen and heard it all. You
Exactly.
know what? So
Hmm.
great. Come give me your story. That is okay. Right? It's not going to change it.
Honestly, yeah, you're not that special.
No,
It's a lot
you're
more
not.
common than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. That goes for all the therapists,
Hmm.
the psychologists,
Hmm.
I've like we have seen and done it all, heard it all, whatever. Like,
Hmm. Yeah,
lay it on
yeah.
us. We're not going to judge you for it. You get probably from healthcare people, you get more judgment for not taking care of yourself and not
Yeah.
seeking help than for, and continuing
Seeking.
with all your crap and not working on it, healing it than you do
Yeah.
for actually seeking help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry, but yeah, that's true.
That is true.
Sorry,
Because
not sorry.
it's so frustrating to see because it
It
doesn't
is.
need to be that way.
It doesn't need
Life
to be
doesn't
that
not,
way.
that's what we
Yeah.
said. Life's too short, and even if you're like on the fence about it, then fucking do it anyway.
Yeah. You're
Sometimes,
scared. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And sometimes you need a check-in too.
Hmm.
Sometimes you might have gone to therapy years ago and then I feel like get a check in, do a couple do a couple sessions just to get like a realignment maybe with your therapist, see what's
Yeah.
going on, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
and then you're done for a while. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's like, it's no different than going to the doctor if you have a friggin' earache,
Right.
you know,
Right.
sometimes,
Exactly.
you
Okay. Well,
know. Whew.
and I think you said you already say you don't have to
Hmm.
earn the right to ask for help.
No,
You don't have to
no.
struggle. You don't need to add. You're not driving the bus around asking for people to hop on. Hey, struggle bus! I'm on the struggle bus. Come get on with me. We're
Right.
going for a long ride. It's gonna be a while till we get off. Jump
Exactly.
on.
Woo, woo.
You don't have to
Yeah.
do that. So
So if any of this speaks to you, I mean, we hope that it made sense. And, if you know of somebody that this speaks to, send them our way. Have them watch this podcast today, subscribe, hit like, share, We just want people to be aware.
Yeah.
That it doesn't have to be so hard.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
So thank you for tuning in.
Yes. All right, everyone. We hope you have a great day and a great week, rest of your weekend.
Yes, 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 yes.
And we will see you next Thursday.
Yes.
All
Have a good
right.
one.
Bye.
Bye bye.